Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's jump right in. Today, I'm going to be your mentor as we unpack a remarkably simple system from our source material for building a digital product business. Now, I know so many beginners get completely paralyzed thinking they need some revolutionary, never-before-seen idea to actually make a dime. But you know what? As we're going to see, that's a total myth. We're going to look at exactly how to leverage AI tools to create high-value PDF products that solve real problems. And the best part? You absolutely don't need to be some world-renowned expert to do it. Just look at this number for a second. $12,174.66. According to our source material, this represents the actual revenue generated in just 7 days using AI-created PDFs. But honestly, what's truly mind-blowing here isn't just the cash, it's the method. Think about it. The creator didn't touch a single piece of inventory. They didn't box up or ship any packages. They didn't even have to sweat over expensive city rent for a storefront. They just created a digital product once, and it kept selling over and over again. We are literally living in the AI era, and utilizing these tools to scale your efforts, that's the entire core of this strategy.
I absolutely love this analogy right here. Think of a PDF like a vending machine. You build it once, then people can keep buying from it over and over. This mindset shift, it changes absolutely everything. Look, so many people burn out on the content treadmill, creating social media posts that just disappear from feeds by tomorrow. But we're not doing that. We aren't making fleeting content, we are building long-term digital assets. You stock your digital vending machine just one time, and it gives you incredible leverage, quietly working in the background while you focus on scaling your business or, just living your life.
So here's our exact roadmap for today. 1. The digital asset mindset. 2. Selling painkillers, not vitamins. 3. Drafting with Claude AI. 4. Designing for perceived value. 5. Building your Shopify engine. And finally 6. Driving traffic with Pinterest. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The digital asset mindset.
Okay, the absolutely crucial point here is leverage. Now, I know a lot of beginners suffer from terrible imposter syndrome. It's so common. They ask, well, I'm not an expert. Why would anyone buy anything from me? Listen, you don't need to be a pre-existing guru. You really just need to provide a structured solution to a problem. Beginners don't need massive, overwhelming complexity. What they need is the leverage of a digital product that scales infinitely. You create your PDF exactly one time. And whether one person buys it or 10,000 people buy it, your actual fulfillment effort remains exactly zero.
Moving on to Section 2. Selling painkillers, not vitamins.
There is a massive night and day difference between what actually sells and what just collects dust on the digital shelf. You never, ever want to sell vitamins. Vitamins are things like budget planners or generic morning routines. Sure, people think they're nice to have, but there's literally zero urgency to pull out a credit card today. Instead, you've got to sell painkillers. Think about it. Have you ever desperately searched for a solution at 2 a.m. because a problem was keeping you awake? That is a painkiller. Things like a guide to curing phone addiction or a social media detox plan. These offer urgent emotional relief. People will gladly pay to solve problems that are causing them daily pain.
So you might be wondering, how exactly do we find these evergreen painkillers? Well, by using Claude AI as your own highly capable research assistant. But here's the trick. Do not just go to AI and ask for generic PDF ideas. That is a fast track to creating vitamins. Instead, ask Claude something like, what problems are people struggling with that cause emotional pain, anxiety, or wasted time? Then have Claude rank those problems by urgency. This is a game changer. It helps you pinpoint massive, evergreen problems, like attention collapse or social media burnout, where your potential customer is already emotionally invested in finding a quick solution.
All right, Section 3. Drafting with Claude AI.
Let me be clear. The amateur way to build a digital product is to blindly copy and paste raw AI text into a document. Please don't do that. The professional way, the method our source material really emphasizes, is to prompt Claude to build you a comprehensive framework first. Once you've got that structured outline, you have to get in there and inject some human empathy. You rewrite sections, you add relatable examples, you instruct Claude to create practical challenges, maybe a 7-day action plan or progress tracking exercises. This is what transforms a basic document into a highly actionable guide.
I seriously cannot stress this enough. Use Claude AI as your assistant, not your tool replacement. If you just paste raw AI text, your product's going to feel artificially generated, flat, and honestly cheap. And that's exactly what we want to avoid. Your goal is to elevate the PDF so it genuinely helps the buyer overcome their specific pain point. Doing this guarantees you a better reputation, happier customers, and way lower refund rates.
Which brings us to Section 4, Designing for Perceived Value. Look, it's a fact of life. People absolutely judge digital products by their covers. But the good news is, you can use a free tool like Canva to literally drag and drop your way to a premium aesthetic. You can ask Claude to suggest some visual concepts, and then hop into Canva to implement them. Stick to minimalist design, strong, bold typography, and really clean color palettes. For instance, if you're selling that social media detox guide we talked about, use relatable imagery like phones paired with themes of progress and transformation. You want a potential customer to see your PDF cover and instantly think, wow, this looks expensive. Because remember, the goal here isn't just to make something that looks pretty. The real goal is to establish instant trust. Visual consistency across your cover and the internal pages builds incredible customer trust. It literally skyrockets the perceived value of your product before they even read a single word. I mean it. Even the absolute greatest, most helpful guide in the world will die on the digital shelf if it's slapped with an ugly, unprofessional cover. Okay, Section 5, Building Your Shopify Engine. So a huge pitfall for beginners is running straight to crowded marketplaces like Etsy. On Etsy, you're basically swimming in a giant ocean of sellers, forced to compete in this miserable race to the bottom on price. I strongly advise against going that route. Choosing Shopify instead is a massive upgrade. But a quick tip, avoid common infrastructure pitfalls. Don't go crazy cluttering your new store with unnecessary apps, and make absolutely sure your checkout process is totally frictionless. Shopify gives you a controlled environment. You own the branding, you manage the entire customer journey, you can offer upsells, and you get deep analytics. Basically, Shopify is what lets your simple PDF evolve into a real, scalable, automated business. Now, the difference in conversion rates often comes down to one thing: your product description. An amateur just writes, "a guide for social media." But a professional, they use Claude to write something like, "designed for overwhelmed people struggling with phone addiction." You really must communicate the emotional outcomes and optimize the text with SEO keywords like digital wellness and mental clarity. If your description doesn't explicitly tell the customer exactly how their life is going to improve, you are going to lose that sale.
And finally, Section 6, Driving Traffic with Pinterest.
I think this quote perfectly captures why Pinterest is literally the ultimate beginner traffic source. It doesn't behave at all like TikTok or Instagram. People aren't going to Pinterest to be passively entertained by dance trends. They go there already in discovery mode. They are actively searching for routines, guides, and solutions to their problems. Because of this, your pins act as permanent, long-term signposts that direct motivated problem solvers straight over to your Shopify checkout page.
To actually execute this, you'll want to build a simple daily schedule that balances your product creation with your marketing. First, grab some successful Pinterest examples, upload them to Claude, and ask it to analyze the hooks. Then have Claude generate dozens of new post concepts, listicle ideas, and emotional angles for you. From there, you just recreate those simple designs in Canva and post them maybe 4 to 6 times a day. By doing this, you're constantly testing out different product hooks to see exactly what actually makes your specific audience click. Now, I know posting 4 to 6 times a day might sound like a lot of work, but you're really just creating systems and mixing up headlines. High-volume pinning works because it creates so much more surface area for clicks and gives you way more opportunities to rank for keywords. And most importantly, it gives you clear data to track. You can easily monitor audience engagement through your outbound clicks and track your daily sales performance by checking your Shopify conversion rate. At the end of the day, traffic generation is a numbers game. All it takes is finding one winning pin that randomly outperforms everything else, and boom, you've secured a steady stream of automated income.
And this brings us to a vital truth about this entire business model. You absolutely do not need the perfect PDF on your first try. Honestly, perfectionism is the enemy of progress here. What you need are iterations. The speed of business has fundamentally changed in the AI era. You don't need to spend months locked away in careful planning. You just need to identify a real problem, draft a structured solution, and actually take action. The first version teaches you about the market. The second version improves your conversions, and the third version is where you scale your income.
Which leads me to a final, ultimate question for you to consider at the end of this explainer. Are you going to stay stuck in research mode forever, endlessly watching tutorials and jotting down notes? Or are you going to take the leap, apply these exact steps, and actually launch your first digital asset today? The tools like Claude, Canva, and Shopify are right there waiting for you. The evergreen problems are out there right now just needing solutions, so it's entirely up to you to take action. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I seriously can't wait to see what you build.